Today is Saturday, July 5th, 2025. And we'll give it a few minutes for others to join. I know this is a 4th of July weekend, so I don't know what the turnout would be, but I decided we'll give it a try anyway. And we'll give it a few minutes for people to join. We'll go through some gun news first, make a few announcements, and then we'll do like we always do and have an open forum. And if no one joins, we'll just end this. I'll give it a couple minutes. And happy 4th of July weekend. This weekend is brought to you by Citizens with Guns. It is hot as hell here in Tennessee today, I can tell you that. I realize it's a holiday weekend, so I don't know how many people are going to attend, but I didn't want to not have the live stream because some people do look forward to it. And like always, this stream is for you guys, so this is where we share information. If you have any questions or comments or statements you want to make that are firearms related, just type it in. If I can't answer it, someone else out there can. And if I don't have the answer, I will get it. Got a lot of really cool products that I have to review this weekend. I got snap caps from Snap Point, which are really cool. They're made out of real 9mm brass that are repurposed along with 115 grain bullets, and they actually look and feel like live ammo, which is really good because a lot of the snap caps are just crap. Man, it is hot as hell in Tennessee today. Welcome to those who just joined. If you haven't been here before, we do this every Saturday at 12 noon. And Phil Datlaw, hello from Arkansas, brother, and Silent Bird, happy 4th of July to you too. All right, now that we have some people here, just so you know, like I always say, I can't see who's attending the stream. Hi, Sayed, unless you type something in. So if I don't acknowledge you, it's not intentional. It doesn't show me who's here. And Mackenzie Turner, hello to you too. All right, so let's start off with some gun news. I guess first off, the most important thing is the big, beautiful bill didn't work out the way we like. And I just want to clarify for everyone because there is some confusion about the tax stamp. Now, what they did was the parliamentarian who should be fired removed the whole part about the silencers and the short barreled rifles. And basically, what they did is there's no longer a $200 tax stamp on the suppressor and the short barreled rifle. However, you still need to go through the ATF and fill out the ATF forms. So basically, the only thing that changed is we're not paying for the tax stamp. I guess it's better than nothing, and I'm sure we'll be fighting that. Gun Owners of America, I think, is already putting a lawsuit together. But I just want to clarify that because it's important to note. Everybody thinks that it's no longer on NFA, but that's not true. The only thing they did is remove the tax stamp from suppressors and short-barreled rifles, okay? So you still need to go to the ATF, so you're not going to go to the store and leave with it that day. Other gun news that I found very interesting is that Ruger has acquired Anderson Manufacturing. I've been using my Anderson lower receivers for years. Matter of fact, every one of my ARs, rifles and pistols, are from Anderson Manufacturing. And hello to you too, brother Adrian. So I guess I don't know whether Anderson Manufacturing has been making the lower receivers for Ruger for years, but Ruger did buy the assets and the manufacturing facility of Anderson Manufacturing. However, Ruger will not continue the Anderson Manufacturing brand of its firearm products. So that, is a little disappointing. I guess, Ruger's going to use it for their own in-house lower receivers, so you won't be able to go to your local Rural King like I do and get a Anderson lower receiver on sale for, I've seen them as low as $29.99. So if you're a big fan of the Anderson lower receivers, I would go out and get them now while you can, because Ruger is no longer going to be selling the Anderson Manufacturing brand. Last Sunday at a church in Wayne, Michigan, as 150 parishioners gathered, an armed attacker prepared multiple firearms and hundreds of rounds of ammunition in the parking lot. As he began his approach to the main entrance, a late arriving parishioner was initially able to slow him down by striking him with his truck. The attacker then began shooting toward the church and was immediately met by an armed member of the church who shot and killed him. This is why, if you can carry. And nothing is safe anymore. You can't even go to church anymore without worrying about being in danger. Tamara Fletcher, I'm sorry I missed your comment. And like I said, they scroll through so fast. We don't have a set agenda. Basically, the topic is anything that you guys want to discuss, as long as it's firearms related. If you have questions or comments about products, I don't have all the answers, and if I don't have the answer, I will get it for you. But like I always say, we all don't know everything, but everyone knows something. So, but anyway, it's kind of sad that you can't even go to church and you got to worry about shooters in there. And thankfully, the church security member shot and killed him. Now, I constantly stress why we need to fight for our gun rights. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein vetoed SB 50 legislation that would allow people 18 or older to conceal carry handguns without a public permit. And again, you think your state is safe. This can be, this could happen to your state. Like I said, we're only a mass shooting or an election away, but don't take your gun rights for granted. I mean, look at all the people in North Carolina. They thought this was a slam dunk when it went through the House and Senate, and then the jackass governor vetoed it. This is why you need to fight. Find out who your representatives are that are pro-gun. Find out who's not pro-gun and try to vote them out of office. This shit just never stops. Look what happened in Colorado. Beginning August 2026, purchasers will need a special permit to buy certain semi-automatic firearms that can accept detachable ammunition magazines. Without the permit, they can buy models that have fixed 15-round magazines. And people will need to be vetted by their county sheriff, take a safety class, and pass to get a permit, which will be valid for 5 years. The training will be 4 hours for people who have gone through hunter education and 12 hours for everyone else. Again, like I always say, and I say it every week, you got to fight for your gun rights. I write my representatives every month. If I find out that there's a gun bill that I don't like, I tell them not to vote for it. Join organizations like the NRA and Gun Owners of America, which, by the way, I still believe Gun Owners of America does more for us than the NRA does. And NJK, hello to you too from Brazil. Thank you for joining. I also would like to ask anyone who is new to join this stream. We do this every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate that. I want to thank everyone that subscribed. Last weekend, you guys pushed us over the 6,000 subscriber mark, and now we're getting closer to 7,000. And my goal is 10,000 by the end of the year. I got 2 RMSC optics from Zalissi Optics, which are really great quality optics. I got to tell you, for the money, I put those Zalissi Optics up against my Holosun any day, and they're only $100 and something. So stay on the lookout for that. Father's Day, when I bought my Ruger SR 1911, I took it to the range, and right out of the box, that thing blew the bullseye out at 25 yards. So I'm very happy with it, and I love the fact that it's aluminum framed and it's very light to carry. And hello to Ken B. and Randall P. Welcome again, brother. It's always good to have you here. And I also recently purchased the Savage Stance XR, and that is an awesome, awesome micro compact. That may actually be my new everyday carry now. I used to be very partial to my Springfield Hellcat Pro, and that was the one that I carried to work. But now I'm really liking that new Savage Stance XR, and I carry that at work. And Adrian, I'm doing well. How are you, brother? Thanks again for all of you guys for joining. All right, so now we'll open this up to any questions that you guys may have. And Ken B, no, I am not military, but we do support and recognize the military and thank them all for our service. Whiskey helps. I did not try the FN Reflex. FN is probably one of the only firearms I don't have, and it's on my list, but you know, every time I get extra money, I just wind up buying something. And ZG, top of the morning to you too, brother. Yes, this is a two-way community, and I'd like to say that as we're all family here, and what I don't like is there's a lot of gun snobs in our community. There's also a lot of people that try to intimidate or bully. You know, if you can carry, I urge everyone to carry. I don't care if you carry open, if you carry concealed, you have to carry whatever makes you fortunate, whatever makes you comfortable. And don't be bullied or intimidated by someone that tells you, well, you should only open carry, you should only conceal carry. You do what you feel is right. And, you know, we're a community that should be really helping each other more instead of having these dumbass wars over calibers and how to carry, which is just non-productive and stupid. And Mackenzie Turner, you don't know how to support yet? Well, very easy. Join the NRA, Gun Owners of America. You know, I check every month my state's firearms bills. I sign petitions even for other states. Yeah, you're right. YouTube does not like the Second Amendment community. We make our money from monetization, and you know, I can't afford to go out and buy new guns out of my own pocket every week, right? So all the money we generate from you guys watching our videos is what I use to fund my guns. And YouTube community really does not like gun channels. There's no rhyme or reason. I'll post a video out there and they won't monetize it. So the video could be watched 1 million times and we get no revenue off it. And it doesn't matter. You could post 10 videos and 3 of them don't get monetized, 10 do, or vice versa. I don't know, but we just do it because we love it. I don't do this to make money, obviously, because I'm not going to make money on it. Mike M., you carry 22 because that's what fits in your clothing to work. Carry 380 around the neighborhood. You know what? It doesn't matter what caliber you carry. All that matters is that you do carry. It's all about shot placement. If you can't shoot for shit, it don't matter what caliber you carry. And I personally, I like the 10 millimeter and 45, but I also do carry 9 millimeters. And as long as you're comfortable carrying it, that's really all that matters. And I got to tell you, Mike M., you like that Hellcat Pro? I love that gun. I always keep going back to it. Matter of fact, that is probably my go-to gun. I always carry it to work. But I bought the Savage Stance XR, XR, and I got to tell you, that is really, really an awesome concealed carry gun. Whiskey helps. Do I see success from shorts or long content? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for monetization, you really don't make any money on shorts. You make all your money on long videos because the longer people watch them, the more monetization you get. If they watch your video and they, watch the ads, you get paid based on that. However, there is a benefit of the shorts, and the benefit of the shorts is that you may have 1 million people that are watching your shorts, and you may pick up more subscribers. So, and Stenmark 2. Unfortunately, I don't have a Stenmark, so I do not have an opinion on that. Yeah, the Hellcat Pro is an awesome gun. I got to tell you, I always wind up going back to that as a concealed carry gun. I mean, I normally open carry, but like when I go to work and I have to conceal carry, I carry the Hellcat. But I got to tell you, after buying the new Savage Stance, you'll be really surprised at at how well that functions. I even like it better than the Hellcat Pro. And Whiskey Helps. Thank you, brother. Always good to see you. Yes, Mackenzie, you can always come back. You just leave and go back to the Pro Gun channel, hit live. You can always come back. And I know this is a 4th of July weekend and everybody's busy and there's a lot of things to do. So I appreciate you guys spending your time with us today. I almost wasn't going to do this, but I decided to do it anyway and give it a shot. And fortunately, people did attend. Like I said, this is an open forum to share information. I love the interaction with you guys. I really enjoyed talking about guns. I've been involved in firearms for over 40 years. It's just one of my passions. So if you guys have any questions, comments, statements you want to make, as long as they're firearms related, we'll address them. And like I said, the great part about this is just sharing information. And for those of you who joined late, I mentioned earlier that Ruger has purchased Anderson Manufacturing. So it's a little disappointing that they're no longer going to be distributing the Anderson brand. All of the ARs I built are using Anderson lower receivers, and I bought them at my local Rural King for, under $49, and I'm not going to be able to get them anymore. But I'm assuming Anderson Manufacturing has probably been making them for Ruger for years, and Ruger just decided to buy their manufacturing facility. 22 is for your daughter's. Yep, 22 is a great gun for people to start. As an NRA instructor, when I teach my classes for people that have never shot before, I teach them with a 22 long rifle. I also got a 5.7, which also has very low recoil. Taurus, I was actually, and thanks for the input there, ZG. I was actually looking at the Taurus TX, but I just didn't get to do it yet. Personally, I'm really not a fan of Keltec, but they are affordable and they're made in the USA with a lifetime warranty. I'm just not a big fan of Keltec products personally. Did you fire that Taurus, ZG? I'm just curious how you like it. And I'm a huge 1911 fan, so I have a hard time passing up a good deal on a 1911. That's why for Father's Day, I got the Ruger SR 1911 aluminum frame. Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo had a phenomenal deal on that. I couldn't pass it up. It was only 500 and change. Now, every time I go to my local Rural King, they have a Rock Island 1911 that's only like $399. I don't own any Rock Islands, and for $399 for 1911, it's really tempting to pick that up. And again, for those of you who just joined, I want to clarify something about the Big Beautiful Bill. It wasn't really the win we were looking for. What it did was, it's perfect timing there, Ryan Prince. Okay, so I addressed this earlier, and I'm glad you asked it. This is to clear up the confusion about the suppressors and the short barrel rifles. What the parliamentarian did was they ripped out all the verbiage to remove it from NFA, and Basically, what it comes down to is you no longer pay the $200 tax stamp on suppressors or short-barreled rifles. However, you still need to fill out the ATF forms and go through that waiting period. So that's all it does, is it eliminates the tax, but you're still going through the ATF and you're still going through the federal database. So you're not going to be able to go to your local gun store and buy a suppressor and take it home. Gun Owners of America is already starting processing the paperwork on the lawsuit for that, though. So hopefully that will come. That's awesome, ZG. When it comes to 22 ammo, I think every gun that I have shoots almost every brand ammo there is. The only 22 ammo that I always have trouble with is the Remington Thunderbolt. I can't get that to fire out of any of mine, but other than that, CCI, Federal, any of the other Remington, Winchester, it doesn't matter. It's just the Thunderbolt ammo that I've always had trouble with. No problem, Ryan. That's why we do this. We do this every week so that we can educate each other. I know there's been a lot of confusion. I go through my Facebook feeds and my gun feeds, and everybody's clapping and cheering, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. This isn't really a win. All we did was save the $200 tax stamp. GZ, my issue with Keltec is not really the quality. I bought a Keltec Sub 2000, and I got it for like stupid cheap. It was under $300. And for what it is, it's a great gun for the money, but I don't like that the feed ramp is polymer. It's going to either, get scratched, it's going to get burned, it's going to get worn down. I would have rather paid a couple extra bucks and have them put a stainless feed ramp in the Keltec Sub 2000. So I wound up getting rid of the Keltec Sub 2000, and I bought the Smith & Wesson 9mm folding carbine pistol. I'm a huge 10mm fan, and I should have waited because now it came out in 10mm. I'm probably just going to wind up going out and buying the 10mm one anyway. I just got some more optics to review from Zalissi. I did a lot of reviews on their optics, and I got to tell you, for 100 and change, you can't beat them. They're awesome quality. I put them up next to my Holosun any day, and you just can't beat them for the money. So you may want to check out some of my videos I did on Zalissi Optics. Again, for those of you who haven't subscribed, I appreciate it if you can do that. We just went over 6,000 subscribers last week, so thanks to everybody who did that. Helped push us over the top. Now we're inching up towards 7,000. Our goal is 10,000 for the end of the year. Probably still going to fall short, but it's just a goal. Yeah, I don't know. It's something about the Thunderbolt ammo. None of my guns just happen to like that. Also, for any of you guys that dry fire train using snap caps, I just did a review on these snap caps from Snap Point, and they're freaking awesome. They're made out of real repurposed 9mm brass with 115 grain bullets. So they literally look and feel like actual ammo, except for the fact that there's no primer and gunpowder in them. So you may want to check out that review. For now, they only make them in 9mm. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a Colt Commando. That's awesome. As a 10mm fan, I love my Glock 20, but I got to tell you, every time I see that Colt Delta Elite 10mm, my heart skips a beat. So I know I'm going to eventually get one of them. Um, I still want to get a lever action uh, rifle, chambered in 357 Magnum. Problem I have is every time I get my YouTube checks and I have a couple dollars on hand, I wind up buying something. I never get to save it and accumulate it. That's why for Father's Day, I bought the new Savage Stance XR and the Ruger SR 1911. I couldn't choose between them, so I got them both. Um, I probably should have just not done that and went out and finally got my lever action, uh, but I can't help it. This is just a hopeless addiction of mine. I'm going to put my email again in the chat. Quite a few of you guys reached out to me via email last week. I understand that some people just don't feel comfortable asking a question publicly. However, you shouldn't be ashamed or worried about it. We're not here to ridicule or make fun of everyone, but some people just would rather uh, ask me privately. So, and that is my email address. So if you guys ever have any questions that you don't want to publicly post, you can always email me and I'll get back to you. If I don't have the answer, I will get it and get back to you. I don't just make up shit and tell you. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. We do this live stream every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern, and we normally let it run until 1 o'clock, but if people are actively engaged with questions, I do let it run longer. Ultrafire, do I like the Gen 5 Glock 30? I love the Glock 30. It's one of my favorite. I love 45 ACP. It's also a matching twin to my Glock 29 10mm. However, I'm personally not a fan of the Gen 5. Um, I have one, but I also have a Gen 3. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I like the finger grooves on the Gen 3, and I don't know why they took them away. I just don't like the Gen 5 grip module. Another reason I like the Gen 3 is because um, the patent expired on the Gen 3, and there's a lot of Glock Gen 3 clones out there that allow you to mix and match Glock parts, and you can't do that with the Gen 5. I actually use the uh, Ultrafire. I've done a review on the pierced pinky extension, and I actually do use that on my Glock 30. Um, it's not. I didn't get the mag extension. It's just the pinky extension, and I like it because the frame of the Glock 30 is a little short for me, and you get that floating pinky thing, and that just drives me insane. So that pinky extension gives you a nice solid grip on the gun without that floating pinky thing. So uh, I got mine on Amazon. I think I got a 2-pack of them for like $14. But I did do a review on it if you want to take a look at it. It's a 2-minute installation. Um, you may want to, while I did it, I bought the uh, Glock magazine base plate removal tool. Um, I used to get pinching, and I actually did get blood blisters from my Glock 30 until I put the pinky extension in. And I have the same problem with the Glock 29. You get that little pinky bite there. Um, and also, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Ultra Fire, but the Glock 30, you can also use the Glock 21 full size 45 ACP mags with that. It does stick out a little bit, but they also make a collar sleeve you can put on there. So sometimes when I go to the range, I'll use my Glock 21 mags. And Kristen Asho, hello to you from Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, Ultra Fire, that base plate removal tool is awesome. It takes 2 minutes, and I use it for a lot of things because I bought a lot of different base plates from Bastion Gear so I could identify them. Nothing more annoying than having 50 Glock magazines in a box, and you get to the range and turn them upside down. They all say Glock on them. So I have base plates that say 9mm, 10mm, and 45 so that I could easily identify what Glock magazine I have. It's the problem when you have a lot of guns. It just annoys me that I got a box full of magazines, and I get to the range, and I always find out once I get there that I left the magazine home. Well, you'll love the Glock 30. I'm telling you, it's an awesome gun. Conceals very well, but you're definitely going to want the extension. And I use that Pierce extension. I put them on all of my magazines. I'd like to know, what are some of your favorite firearms, because I don't have everything. Um, I can't pronounce the name, Deba, whatever. Sorry about that. But personally, I'd go with the Glock. Um, FN is a great gun, but let me tell you, especially depending on the caliber. Like if you're looking at a 10mm, the Glock 20 is probably one of the best 10mm on the market. Mike M, I don't think what happened yesterday has got anything to do with the pricing of suppressors. I don't see them going down. That's a tax stamp. That's got nothing to do with the cost from the manufacturer. And the only thing they did yesterday was eliminated the tax stamp. But I just don't see the suppressors coming down in price because of that. And I do not own a Glock 40. I own almost every other one. I used to be a Glock poster child, and then I started branching out and finding out there's a lot of other guns out there that operate just as good as a Glock and give you more features for less money. Personally, I mean, other than the range, I just don't get the fascination of the suppressor, especially on a pistol. I mean, you're going to have a gun that's like this long. I mean, you're not going to be able to conceal carry it. So, I don't know. I mean, I go to range, I wear my ear protection. I just don't see what the benefit is. My Glock 20, I would never sell that. That is like the official gun of the Alaskan tour guides. I think that Glock 20 is probably the best 10 millimeter on the planet. And the Glock 29 is awesome as well. Okay, I'll give you that, Mike. For hunting, it makes a lot of sense. I don't I don't agree with the suppressors are going to get real hot very quickly. I don't see it. The tax stamp maybe was a factor for some people, and now maybe they'll buy it because they don't pay the $200 tax. For me, it's the federal database and going through that bullshit with the ATF. I don't care how cheap suppressors are. I'm not doing that. Yeah, my bad. I realized it after I said that, Mike. Yeah, they do get hot very quickly. Um, you do mag dumps and you do like two or three mag dumps of 15 rounds. Yeah, it's gonna get hot. Yeah, that's a good point there, Ultrafire. Motorcycle exhaust wrap probably would do the job. I'm not a hunter, so like I said, I personally don't see the attraction, but man, it is hot as hell in Tennessee today. I appreciate you guys spending your Saturday afternoon with us on a holiday weekend. I'm sure there's a lot of better things you guys could be doing, and uh, I'm glad you decided to share it with us. I just love doing this. I love the interaction with you guys and sharing information and ideas. Uh, our channel grew because of you guys, so that's why we do it. This stream is for you. And again, if I fail to acknowledge someone or answer your questions, it's not intentional. I try looking at them, scrolling up on the screen, and sometimes they fly by so quickly, I don't get to see them. What do I suggest as a first gun? Well, I don't normally tell people what make, model, or caliber gun to get. What I would suggest is go to your local gun range, rent a gun, and take it from there. That is a good question, and I don't know the answer to that because I don't own a suppressor. So I do not know if you can shoot hard cast bullets through suppressors. I would guess you can, but I'm just guessing. So if any of you other guys out there that do have suppressors can answer that, I would appreciate that. That is a good question. And it's 12:30, so we will be running this until 1 o'clock. So if you have questions or comments or concerns, um, now would be the time to do it. You don't want to miss out. I'm also in the process of putting some of my dry fire training drills together um, due to popular demand. So look out for those soon. Ultra fire. I like the Tragicons personally um, for an AR-15. They're awesome. They're very expensive, but they're well worth the money. I like them. I really didn't have enough coffee today, but it's too damn hot for coffee. So I'll stick with my iced tea. And again, this doesn't show me who's on the live stream unless you're typing in the comments. So, Ultrafire, what type of ARs are in my collection? Okay. I have the Smith & Wesson M&P 15. All my other ARs are homemade. I built them all. I have a wide variety of AR rifles and pistols. I just built another AR pistol, only in 300 blackout. I've always wanted a 300 blackout, so I built that. I use Anderson lower receivers for all of mine. I'm a huge fan of Anderson lower receivers. They're awesome for the money. However, I just read, like I said earlier, that Ruger has just acquired Anderson Manufacturing. They bought their manufacturing plant, facility, and machinery, and Ruger will not be continuing Anderson Manufacturing brand. So you probably are not going to be able to get any deals or even find the Anderson lowers anymore. Jacob. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Palmetto State AK rifles. Not at all. All of the PSA products that I've ever used have been fantastic. The daggers are great. I don't see why you'd have a problem with it. They're made in the USA. They're in South Carolina. They make a lot of great products. Matter of fact, all of my AR pistols, I use the Palmetto State competition trigger module. So I would have no qualms getting a PSA AK rifle. Yeah, you know something, Jacob. I get why they say don't buy American AKs, um, but I really think that they're just a little biased. I mean, come on, America's a great country, and we do make great products here. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I agree. Too many people post negative bullshit on forums, and um, you know, I don't know. Maybe you can go to the local gun range and rent one and try it out. All I can tell you is personally, I've never been disappointed by any of the PSA products. Um, Debitobos, CZ Group acquired Colt. Sad news. No, actually, that is not sad news, and it's not really even news anymore. It's been a while since CZ acquired Colt. And let me tell you, right before CZ bought them, the quality of Colt was going down the toilet. And CZ makes phenomenal quality guns. And now that they acquired Colt, I'm sure the quality of control will be much better than Colt's been in the last 10 years. CZ owns Dan Wesson. They're nothing to sneeze at. They make great quality firearms. So I'm not sad that they acquired Colt. They actually did us a favor because they'll improve quality control. Like I said, the past 10 years, the Colt products have just been deteriorating. So I just bought a Colt Python Combat Elite a couple months ago, and it's awesome. No, I'm not. I'm not buying that. CZ does have an American group. They're not going to be messing with their stuff. Um, no, I just don't see that happening. What do I think about that 8.6 ammo? I've never seen or shot 8.6 ammo, so sorry, I really don't have an opinion on it because I've never seen it. Sounds to me that 8.6 ammo would be very expensive, though. Not like it's exactly a household comment. Yeah, that Springfield Kuna is really cool. I was at the local Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo maybe about a month ago, uh, and they had the Springfield Kuna there with Springfield reps, and they were giving away caps and all kind of stuff like that. And that was a really cool looking gun. I like that a lot. Little expensive, but it's cool. And I like Springfield products. I love the Hellcat. I have a Springfield Echelon. Um, I have a Springfield Ronin in 10 millimeters. So Springfield makes awesome products. And I don't even care that they're made in Croatia. They're still very well made. So, like I said earlier, we purchase our firearms based on the revenue the channel generates, and that's based on how many people view our videos. So, if you want to help us out, watch as many of our videos as you can, comment on them, share them. Um, the more money we make, the more firearms we get to buy and review for you guys. Uh, yeah, yeah, you could say I have a massive collection. Um, yeah, you could say that. And it's, it gets more and more difficult when I walk into a gun store, though. Um, Nothing really impresses me anymore. And the other problem I have is, I've been itching to get a lever action rifle for a long time in 357 Magnum. And every time I get a couple YouTube checks, instead of letting them accumulate, I wind up buying more guns. I just can't help it. That's why Father's Day I went to Smoky Mountain. I couldn't decide between the Ruger SR 1911 with the aluminum frame or the new Savage Stance XR, so I bought them both. And I got home and I was like, "Damn it! I could have bought my lever action Henry for that." But um, I never have buyer's remorse when I buy a gun. We're just trying to grow so that we can generate more revenue to purchase more firearms. I can't be laying out money out of my own pocket every month buying a new gun just to review it for the channel. Yeah, I'm gonna need another safe. Um, it's funny. I don't know if you have Rural King where you guys live, but um, and I'll get to you in 1 second there, NJK. I was in Rural King and they have a gun safe from Gettysburg that looks almost like a Winchester. And I was looking at it yesterday and I was thinking about buying it. And I looked at the hinges on the outside. And what surprised the hell out of me is the hinges had plastic pins in them. And I'm like, this is just so freaking stupid. Why would you put a plastic hinge in a gun safe when you can get a pocket knife or a screwdriver and pop it out? And it's just ridiculous. Okay, NJK, if I had to choose a single weapon size and caliber, what would it be? Hands down, my 1911. Um, I just think out of the box, 1911 is the best trigger there is. And I know my brain normally says 45 ACP when I talk 1911. 9mm isn't even on my radar. However, mine would be the Springfield Ronin 10mm 1911 if I had to pick one. And that's the problem when you have a large collection of firearms. That picking out the favorite gets harder and harder. At one time, I could say a favorite without thinking. And now it's like almost every time I get a new gun, it's my new favorite. But I just want to clarify on that, NJK. As far as caliber goes, that's just me. I just happen to be a huge fan of 10mm and 45 ACP. I would never tell anybody to buy a 10mm unless they asked about a specific 10mm gun, asked me if I thought it was a good gun. I, to me, the best caliber is what you shoot best. And I always recommend people to go to your local gun shop and rent a gun and shoot it and see what you shoot the best. What's right for me may not be right for you, or vice versa. I love 10mm and 45, but I would never tell anybody to go out and buy a 10mm. I always laugh when, you hear these people with the caliber wars. It's just so stupid. There is no best caliber. The best caliber is what you shoot best with. And even though I love 10mm and 45 ACP, and to be honest with you, though, 9mm, I'm much more accurate on follow-up shots. On the big bores like the 10mm and the 45, there's no way if you had to fire 2 or 3 consecutive shots, you're going to be as accurate with that as you would be with a 9. But I just happen to like those. And I'm confident that that first shot I shoot is going to count. But yes, I am in the market now for a new gun safe. I was looking at the Winchester. The problem is I get a new gun safe now. I got to fill it up right now. It's going to cost me a lot of money to fill up another safe with guns. But I think in my current safe, I think I can squeeze one more long gun and maybe one more handgun, but that's it. And if you all have any recommendations on safes, I'm all for it because there's so many of them to choose from, and some of them are just so expensive. And I did a lot of research on gun safes, and uh, the 45 hollow points I carry, um, I carry I carry Black Talon, and I use I believe it's Sig Punch and Hornady Critical Defense. That's what I use for my 45 hollow points. I do love the Black Talon. Um, I have a friend of mine that's a cop in Texas, and he gave me a boatload of that. So that's what I carry. I also forgot we do giveaways here from time to time. And this week's giveaway, I have a spotting scope from Mid 10, and I got um, a rifle bipod from Fiachi. And the winner of those is Darren, wins the spotting scope, and Kevin won the rifle bipod. Um, like I said, every now and then um, I get a lot of stuff to review, and I try sharing it with my subscribers and passing it on to you guys. So, congratulations to Darren and Kevin. Thanks again for subscribing. Um, in order to win those things, you have to be a subscriber. So, thank you all for that. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done gel tests, ultra fire. I can't really tell you if one is better than the other for penetration. It just goes by what they happen to have on sale. Um, you can't go wrong with the Sig Punch. You can't go wrong with the Hornady Critical Duty or Critical Defense, and I love the Black Talon. Um, it's hard to get. My understanding is it's only available to law enforcement, but I personally think that all the hollow points are basically the same for defensive ammo. And it's 10 to 1 now. We will end this stream at 1 o'clock unless you guys have questions or comments, and we'll let it go over like we always do. Otherwise, we will plan on ending the stream at 1 o'clock. We do this every Saturday afternoon at 12 noon Eastern. So for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. And we do it every week. And it's pretty much an open forum. As long as it's firearms related, we can discuss anything. I try not to get political. However, I'm not going to stop you if you bash Democrats. And again, I just released a bunch of videos, so please go out, watch our videos, leave comments, share our videos with others, share our channel with people. The more we grow, the more it allows us to do. The more stuff that I get, the more stuff I get to give away. Superior safes. Actually, I'm going to write that down. I appreciate that, Mike. I'm going to write down Superior safes because I know I'm right outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, and I know Liberty Safe just opened a facility in Knoxville. They're just very, very expensive, but I'm going to look into Superior Safe. I appreciate that. I guess I'm trying to decide whether I get a real big safe and replace the one I have, or I get a smaller safe and I use it in addition to the one I have. Um, I can't decide yet. And again, it doesn't show me who we have um, on the live stream unless people are typing in comments. So if you're out there, uh, please leave a comment so we can acknowledge you. And no, I have never thought about a gun wall unless I had a room that was like a vault. I don't like to advertise my firearms. You know, I don't. When I drive around, I see people with all of these, Glock stickers and NRA stickers all over their car. That's just got "bust my window" written all over it. It would be really cool though to have a gun vault instead of a safe. And I was going to go test out some ammo in the backyard today, but man, it's too damn hot even to shoot. Let me write that. Thanks again, Mike. Let me write down that UT 45. It's difficult when I look at gun safes. I think the deciding factor for me is configuration. Um, the safe I currently have, um, it's a decent safe, but what I don't like about it is that where they have the wall to the left of that is for long guns. I really wish that all safes had completely empty configuration that you could just build yourself and put shelves and walls anywhere you want in it, because um, I'm not a big long gun fan. So the section for long guns in my safe is pretty big, and it's wasted space where, I could probably fit another 30 or 40 handguns with shelving in there. So I just wish that the safes were a little bit more configurable. But that's just me. I mean, I guess if you have a lot of long guns, you would appreciate having that. I just don't have a lot of long guns. I'm really not a long gun person, even though I own them. Um, I'm just a pistol guy. And we got 5 minutes left. So anybody has a question or comment or statement they want to make, get them out there now before we end. Again, I appreciate all you guys um, attending our live stream. Again, I know it's the 4th of July weekend. There's a lot more things you guys could have been doing than spending your time with us, so I appreciate you doing that. Exactly. It should be set up like a Lego set. You should be able to just configure it however you want. And I'm going to write down the Rhino metal. Just for the hell of it. I almost thought about, because I don't really have a lot of long guns, I almost thought about maybe, just getting a storage locker and put a padlock on it for my long guns. And then in the section of my safe that stores long guns, I could put shelving up and hold more handguns in it, because I'll be buying a lot more handguns than I will long guns. And safes are one of those things. I did a lot of research on them, and um, the fireproof rating, uh, they give themselves a fireproof rating. There is no government fireproof rating. Ultra fire, yes, I do have shotguns. I have Mossberg 500 Persuader, um, and I have a Panzer Arms AR-12, which is really cool. It's a AR-15 style shotgun. I have a Remington 870. So I do have some shotguns. I just I don't have anything against long guns. I just really don't have an interest in them. Um, I went skeet shooting, and I can't shoot skeet for shit. Um, that's why I just like handguns, and that's what I learned on when I was a kid. My dad taught me to shoot a 357 Magnum revolver and a 45 Long Colt revolver, and um, I just happen to be a fan of handguns. Also, back then I lived in the communist state of New Jersey. You couldn't hunt with rifles, so um, pretty much the only thing you do with a rifle is shoot them at a gun range. And then they took our Second Amendment gun rights away and moved to the great state of Tennessee. And this is the 2-minute warning. It is 12:58. We'll be ending this stream at 1 o'clock. Again, I appreciate all you guys. I love having you. I love the interaction with you guys, and um, I love exchanging information just like we're doing now. Um, I know I learn something every week doing this, and you guys probably do too, and that's why people keep coming back. So uh, I originally started this live stream as a one-shot deal, and due to popular demand, we do this stream every week now, every Saturday at 12 noon. And thanks for the kind words, Deborah Tabos. Glad you love the channel. Um, I'm a small channel, but I love what I do, and I work really hard at it. And I appreciate your support. Appreciate all of you guys. We wouldn't be where we were without you. It's you guys subscribing and watching our videos that help us grow. YouTube really just does not like gun channels, so um, I'm sure the algorithm is not pushing our videos out to people so that we can get the monetization. And the only way we get monetization is for how many times people watch videos. So watch them, share them with your friends, share our video and our channel on any of your uh, social media groups you belong to. I'd appreciate that. And thanks again, Deborah Tabos. And we try to keep good quality content. I mean, I don't just make videos just to make videos. I try to post videos of good quality products that I think the community could use. And, um, it's hard to, I can't buy guns every week, but I do have people, fortunately, that lend me firearms to review. And it's 1 o'clock, so we're going to end the stream unless you guys have any more comments or questions. I'll give you another minute if you want to enter your question. We will keep the stream going. Otherwise, we'll end it in 1 minute. Again, thank you all. I love you guys. I look forward to this every week. So hope you guys can join us every week. If not, join us when you can. Tell everybody you know about us. Share our channel and social media, etc. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm old. I've been doing this for 45 years. So I'm in my 60s, and I hope you can tell by my channel and what I do that I really do love doing this. I am in the great state of Tennessee. Uh, and see you next week, Mike. Yes, I do blow up tannerite in my backyard. I do live in the great state of Tennessee. We blow shit up here. Um, hell, okay. Again, I said this earlier, and I'm going to clarify it again. What happened with the big beautiful bill? We did not get the win we wanted. What we wanted was we wanted the suppressors and short-barreled rifles to be removed from NFA, and that has not happened. What happened with the big beautiful bill was the only thing they did was eliminate the $200 tax stamp on suppressors and short-barreled rifles. Um, you still need to go and fill out the ATF form and go through the waiting period and all that bullshit. So nothing really changed except for the fact that um, you don't pay a $200 tax stamp. You're still going through the federal database, etc. Um, besides the state of Texas, I live in the great state of Tennessee, and we got awesome uh, relaxed gun laws. We don't need a permit to carry anymore. And yes, yeah, I agree. All politicians are uh, corrupt on both sides. You know, you don't get rich by being a politician. So, and I agree with you. Nobody is on our side. That is why we have to fight for our gun rights. Um, Join organizations like Gun Owners of America and the NRA. Tennessee does have a stand your ground, as well as Castle Doctrine. Matter of fact, in the state of Tennessee, if someone breaks into your home, um, the law interprets it as they broke into your home with the intent to do bodily harm, and you can kill them. And in Tennessee, if someone breaks into your home and you shoot them, you are indemnified from civil lawsuits because they were in the act of committing a crime. So we have awesome gun laws in Tennessee, especially that we can open carry without a permit. That means you can open carry an AR pistol. So I love Tennessee. Yeah, 2 years. Well, I guess I'd rather see less government control than more. Um, when I first moved here 7 years ago, I had to take a 8 hour training class and I had to qualify with my firearm in order to get a carry permit. Now you don't need anything. Um, and when I got my permit, in order to open carry, you needed a concealed carry permit. Um, and now you don't need anything. And I guess what I don't like about it is that, so now you got all these knuckleheads that walk into a gun store, buy a gun, put it on their hip, never go to the range and practice. And these people are walking around with guns that know nothing about firearms. I mean, I guess if the guy next to me is carrying a firearm, I'd feel better knowing he at least took a firearm safety class. Um, and also, the way it used to be in Tennessee was in order to open carry, you needed a concealed carry permit. So if someone was open carrying, law enforcement would be able to say, you have a permit. Do you have a concealed carry permit? Well, 2 years ago, when they passed the law that you don't need anything to carry, now a criminal could be open carrying and law enforcement can't ask them if they have a permit because you don't need one. Um, I'm also a pistol instructor, and I got to tell you, since 2 years ago, when Tennessee no longer required permits to carry, nobody's getting training anymore. Um, I haven't taught a training class in months. Um, Prior to that, I was booked months in advance. And now people just go out, buy a gun, and they think like magic it's going to save their life. Um, and they're not getting any training. And it's sad, really. Yeah, and I agree with that too. The people that are against firearms are clueless. And good for you, Damon. Damien, you could never have enough training. Um, I'm a pistol instructor. I'm certified as an instructor by the state of Tennessee. Um, I have certifications from NRA to teach pistol, home firearm safety, refuse to be a victim, personal protection outside the home. And I constantly, even as an instructor, I take at least two training classes a year. You can never have enough training. And that is why if you don't dry fire train, I'm a strong proponent of dry fire. I dry fire train 3 days a week. Uh, you can't always get to the range. You can't always get the ammo. You either don't have the money or they may not even have the ammo at the gun store. That's not an excuse to not train. If you're not doing it, you should be dry fire training. Watch my videos. I'm actually releasing a whole series of dry fire training drills. I appreciate that, Damien. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. Um, you know, I train, I give classes whenever people need them, so I'm very flexible. Yep, Mantis X dry fire training is awesome. Matter of fact, Mantis just sent me the X10 Elite to review. I just did a review on that a week or so ago, and that is awesome. Yeah, Damien, look at my dry fire videos. I have a lot of products out there that I recommend. I use Mantis X is by far the best. I also use the dry fire mag so that you don't need to rack the slide every time. I just did a review on snap caps from Snap Point, so I got a lot of videos out there for dry fire. Um, I can't stress it enough, and I put a poll on my YouTube channel asking how many people dry fire train, and I'm really surprised uh, at how many people don't dry fire. Mantis has X10 for pistols. Um, Mantis X10, by the way, works with pistols, rifles, shotguns, and even bows. The Blackbeard X is only for the AR, and it is amazing. Blackbeard X has Mantis X built in, and it gives you a resettable trigger, so you don't have to pull the charging handle. But Traxxas, just to answer your question on that, you can use I have the X10 Elite, and Mantis X10 Elite you can use for live or dry fire training, and it works with pistols, rifles, shotguns, and bows. So gives you a lot of options there. And in my opinion, Mantis X is by far the best training product on the planet. And it's all in the app. And by trade, I'm a software guy, and I got to tell you, that Mantis app is by far the best I have ever seen. All right, it's 1:11. I said I'd let it run a little longer. We'll run this until 1:15, and then we'll close down the live stream. Again, thank you all for joining. For those who haven't joined the stream before, we do this every Saturday at 12 Eastern till 1 o'clock. So tell your friends, uh, share our channel with all your social media. Um, we're just trying to grow as much as we can. You guys pushed us over to 6,000 subscribers last week. Now we're working on 7. I'm hoping to get 10,000 by the end of the year. I know it's a little aggressive. I'm probably not going to make that, but you need to have goals, and that's what my goal is. So, again, thank all of you for your support. I really appreciate it. We wouldn't be where we are without you guys. So, and I love the interaction. It's just awesome that the way we get to share information on products and ideas with each other. It's just fantastic. A lot of the large channels don't do this. I don't know why. I just think it's great for the Second Amendment community. All right, and as we're winding it down, if you guys got anything else you want to say, do it now. Damien, yes, actually, I am going to goals in August. I'll actually be helping them out because pro gun does fight for your Second Amendment rights. Um, I will be going to that. And actually, um, you know what? I'll put my email in here again. All right, Damien, that's my email address. And if you're going to goals in August, you know, hit me up. Maybe we can hook up out there. Anybody else that's going to the Gun Owners of America in August in Knoxville, Tennessee, reach out to me. I'd love to get together. It'll be awesome to have a bunch of pro gun people meeting at that. So, Damien, reach out to me, and maybe you and I could hook up there. I don't use any DIY formula for gun oil. I'm sorry, I'm old school. I use Hoppy's gun oil. All right, guys, we're going to shut down the live stream now. Thank you all so much. I love you guys. Hope to catch you all next week. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend.